While Israel is heading to its fifth elections within less than 4 years, one thing has remained the same. Orthodox women are barely represented in parliament as legislators for the two ultra-Orthodox parties, Shas and United Torah Judaism. But outside of parliament, ambitious women are organizing themselves.
There is a minimal principle that's called to elect and to get elected, the right to be represented, one of the most basic foundations of a democratic state. If it does not exist, it is a stain on every democratic state.
Hila Hassan Levkovich is part of Nivcharot, a collective of Orthodox women who educate one another on politics, rhetoric, and feminism. For 3 months now, she also serves as an administrator in the local religious council of the small town of Kfar Yonah in central Israel, one of only about 10 female nationwide in that position. There, she fights for female representation and visibility in an area that is usually dominated by men only.
Women who immerse themselves in the mikveh, the ritual bath, do so for years, me included. But now, in my new role, I entered and said, put a flower here and there. I am a feminist who does acknowledge that there are physical differences between men and women. And this influences the way that men and women view things.
To Hila Hassan Levkovich, her work in the local religious council is only a pit stop on her way to parliament. But her struggle is lengthy and has a price.
When Shas shares a campaign on social media, I respond, nice, many men, but what a shame that there is no female representation. I push back every time until they fight with me about it. Like, how you dare say that? But it also reached the real world. I go to family events less frequently. I don't feel comfortable. I can tell you now that in a maximum of 5 years, I will be in parliament. I know that this will happen. I can't do anything about it. I'm an Orthodox woman. I have certain values. I can't bring forward these values in a secular party.
Other Orthodox women did find their political home in a secular party. A few months ago, a group of Orthodox activists came together and joined Yesh Atid, the party of interim Prime Minister Yair Lapid, a figure who is seen as highly controversial within the Orthodox community as he advocated for the conscription of Orthodox Jews into the Israeli military, something that many say they cannot reconcile with religious study. Tzipi Lavi, 22, divorced and resident of the ultra-Orthodox city of Bnei Brak next to Tel Aviv, is the initiator of the Orthodox group within Yesh Atid, here meeting with her allies in Jerusalem.
As of now, there is no space for women in the Orthodox parties, not as members of parliament, nor as members of party, not even as activists. I do not reject the Orthodox parties. If they wanted to work with me, I'd be happy to work with them. But they do not advance the topics that are important to me. Domestic violence, they don't even touch upon it. Or sexual assault, needless to say, really. Or state religious schools. I want them to be available for my son. Not only do they not advance these topics, they oppose them.
Her group comprises of young Orthodox women and men from all over the country who do not want to wait for the Orthodox parties to open up. To them, the topic of education within the ultra-Orthodox community is crucial. Schools which combine both religious and secular education according to the state's curriculum. For Sari Miron, too, this is a central concern.
There are many families who are afraid of state religious schools because in the Orthodox media they say terrible things about those who go there, that they won't reach the world to come, that they destroy everything. It really makes me angry. I believe in combining Torah and the outside world. And yes, my son will also learn in the yeshiva a bit, but he will get his high school diploma because in the end he will have to make a living.
Miron first became a political activist when news about sexual assault in the ultra-Orthodox communities became public. She spoke out as a victim of sexual violence herself, which caused a stir in her ultra-Orthodox environment.
My family ended relations with me. It was a process, but now it has become quite dramatic. To them, I am not relevant anymore. They are ashamed of me. It's not pleasant, but I have this feeling of being on a mission. The fact that I want to be active, that I think that I have the right to take space, is not something normal among Orthodox women, but it comes from feminism. Yes, without being ashamed.
For Orthodox women, the path to politics is longer and presents more challenges on the way. As of now, they either have to make concessions and join a non-Orthodox party or struggle in a different way, often risking their reputation within their communities or their relations with family. But what unites them is their idea of feminism, that although or because they are Orthodox women, their voices should be heard and amplified, also in Parliament. Pia Steckelbach, I24 News.